Hey guys, it's Yodi here with a new Demon Hunter guide. This video will cover the Kridershot and Unhallowed set combination that was added in 2.2 and currently is the best solo spec out there. I will go over the gearing, the build and variations of it, the gems and a bit of gameplay as well from a 53 Greater Rift so you can see it in action. The build has extremely high potential, but it's quite difficult to pull off in some scenarios. It also has some glaring pros and cons, just like the old slow ball build. The gearing is pretty straightforward. This is a Kridershot setup, so you will need that. You'll be using the Unhallowed Essence set, which buffs your damage by an initial 20% on the 4 set, and at 6 set it allows your generators and multi-shot to do 15% more damage for each discipline point you have. This basically means you want discipline on every single item you can get it on to buff your damage with this set, such as the chest, quiver, and weapon slots. Also, the 6 set applies to your current discipline, not the max you have, so for every discipline point you use on a defensive skill, until your discipline replenishes again, you'll be doing less than your theoretical max DPS. For more detailed information about rerolls on each item, there will be a specific video later on. As a basic idea though, you'll want elemental arrow damage on your head, boots and quiver. You'll be using the Bastion's Will ring set, made out of focus and restraint. This will buff your damage even more when cycling between elemental arrow and multi-shot. As your quiver, you'll be using a meticulous bolts one. Try to get as low as possible speed on the legendary affix, which slows your ball lightning down. 30% would be ideal. For the bracer slot, we have the Lacunis, which are basically the best DPS bracers you can get for this build. Elemental damage, dexterity, attack speed, and crit chance here. For your amulet, I recommend the Hellfire amulet with awareness passive or any of the other DPS passives that we'll be discussing in the build section. For the belt slot, I'd recommend the Witching Hour. The builds, there's a few setups you can use depending on your preferred gameplay style. Whether you want something more reliable for any rift you'll get, or something better for fishing those perfectly rolled greater rifts with slow mobs to get higher ranks. First we'll talk passives, since those are going to be the same for all the builds. Must-have ones are awareness, steady aim, kill the weak, and single out. Then you can either choose ambush or archery for the last lot. Moving on to the active skills, we'll cover the more consistent one first, then the one if you're planning to fish for ranks. We have elemental arrow with ball lightning, the main source of damage you'll have. Then multi-shot with either arsenal or fired will to proc that Bastion's Will buff. Marked for death with contagion for spreading 20% damage taking debuff to all the mobs. It's quite amazing in high density rifts where the marked for death debuff will just keep rolling from mob to mob. Sentry with polarization to apply the slow debuff and buff your damage via Kill the Weak and Bane of the Trapped. Then we have preparation with invigoration to raise your discipline pull and buff your damage via the Unhallowed set. Finally, you can either go with Smokescreen, displacement is nice for moving out of danger fast, or Lingering Shadows if you want more duration on it. After testing both, I prefer displacement now though. Or you can go with Vault with Tumble. Then the second spec will simply rely on your Templar to slow the mobs down. If you're lucky enough to get a rift with zombies or tight spaces such as the caves or tunnels, your Templar will slow the mobs down for you via Intimidation skill and Bulkathos Wedding Band. This will allow you to replace your Polar Station with something more useful such as Wolf Companion and buff your damage even more. Now the downside of these builds is the fact that reflect damage will kill you instantly. There's not much you can do except skip those packs if it's a possibility. The upside is way higher potential damage depending on density and type of mobs compared to the other builds. Gem wise, it's Zaze and Bane of the Trapped with the option to go for Bane of the Powerful as a third gem or Gogok of Swiftness. Gogok will buff your attack speed by 15% as well as reduce your cooldowns. Very good, especially if you're going to use the fishing spec, since you'll have wolf and preparation cooldowns reset faster. Anyways, that's it for now guys. I'll leave you with some gameplay to see the more consistent spec in action in a Greater F53. Didn't have the keys to fish a proper Greater F for the other spec as well, but it's overall the same. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you next time guys. Cheers.